Classrooms of the future.
CFF is an acronym for
Classrooms
for the future.
It's an initiative from the state that allows us to get new technologies into the hands of the students in order to help them possibly become 21st century learners.
Good part about CFF is it gives the students, different media, to come up with some projects or products, different way to present information. That's basically what I see is more hands-on, more student involvement with things.
CFF is a state initiative program in which school districts are trying to enhance the classroom of the 21st century through, obviously, everything that you use. Laptop, smartboard, Elmos, cooperative learning, and student-based learning.
Computers ultimately are taking over what a lot of us used to do on paper.
What I like about CFF is the fact that I can use technology in the classroom, and it's not just me generating the technology, but students as well. So now instead of having a paper and pencil test to prove that students know something, they can create a podcast, they can create a video, they can create a PowerPoint presentation that they can interact with on the smartboard. It makes learning more interactive.
We're hoping to get them not only able to grow and learn by using it, but become more comfortable with everything. So when they hit the real world, where somebody else might need training, somebody that's been through classrooms for the future might already know, oh, I know how to use that, here, let me teach you, type of an atmosphere. So they become ultimately teachers by learning this technology.
Don't just stand, don't just stand, don't just stand, don't just stand, go berserk. Don't just stand, don't just stand, don't just stand, don't just stand, go berserk.
So far, I've been using CFF for a cognitive tutor program. So instead of having to go down to a computer lab, we can just use the laptops. And I can have smaller groups of students working on things. So I can be going over homework with 6 kids, and then another 6 kids are on the laptops doing something. So it's more of a one-on-one situation.
I use the smart boards a lot. I use, obviously, if I'm using the smart boards, I'm using the LCD. Whenever we do use the computer, pretty much so far it's been a lot of research using the internet, trying to do some things with iMovies and possibly the Keynote, trying to maybe create a podcast or something of that nature.
I've done a Google Earth tour with my classes. They were able to see Germany on Google Earth. We were able to interact and move and create, our own tour, look at pictures that people have put up on there.
Webquest. Another example of using CFF in the classroom was through our psychology class, Intro to Psychology. We were discussing dreaming, and we talked about 3 theories. We were talking about extension of waking life, Freud's theory of dreaming, and activation synthesis. They were using a Webquest in which they had to answer the question, do dreams have symbolic meaning? They had the opportunity to do research on the computers through Webquest, work in teams, and we finished up with a discussion in class of the 3 theories of dream. They had to pick one theory, research it online through the Webquest and the links that I've given them, and they had the opportunity to come in here and battle out which topic or which theory was the best one for dream. They all had great arguments, and I believe the Webquest and CFF enhanced their understanding of why we dream.
According to the government website, Classrooms for the Future is about recognizing and embracing the need for high school reform, enabling teachers to use technology as an effective tool for educating students, and preparing students to enter and successfully compete in the ever-changing high-tech global marketplace.
We've devoted a lot of time to it.
Too much to count.
I had all of this stuff last year when I was an intern. I've taken time on my own, training-wise, not formally, but I've done enough on my own to make it work.
Actually taking classes through what's called embedded learning. So we're online taking classes. I probably have into the class itself maybe 12 hours at this point. We've had some supplemental training as well.
We have a mandatory course that we have to go through. There's a lot to learn. When it was introduced to us, they said it was 30 hours. I think I surpassed that in the first week.
Every Tuesday morning, Friday morning, we try to sit down and have tech meetings, so to speak, or technology meetings, where we're looking at different ways or different technologies to use in the classroom.
I have no idea how much exact time I've put into this, but it's beneficial.
Today's students are growing up with technology and in a cyber world. That is another reason this program is so important. Classrooms for the Future will create learning environments that students will find engaging and that will pique their interest, a critical component to boosting student achievement.
Some of our maybe honor students, they're more the old-fashioned where lecture, discussions, things of that nature. I think it's helpful in some respects with middle learners or maybe lower level learners to create some motivation.
I really like using the Elmo technology just because it's like a projector, only you don't need the transparencies, and teachers can write directly on the paper, which is very helpful, especially if they make mistakes.
Cows are just like the laptops that the teachers have, but they're on a cart and they get pushed from class to class. And basically, instead of going to the library to use the computers we already had, we just have them in our classrooms. They're really helpful in my AP/GP class because we go online and we look at the news and like current events, since it's my AP/GP, and like we use it for our worksheets to fill out and like polls and things like that. So that's really helpful, but we already have all those computers in the library and all the new computers that we just got in the library. So I don't see how having them in our classroom rather than walking 20 seconds down to the library helps anything.
I just think that since teachers don't always use it consistently, it isn't fulfilling its purpose.
More technology, better. Less technology equals bad. We don't have enough computers to satisfy the needs of all of our students. So we need more computers.
The one problem that we are having right now, and kind of goes back to your other question, is we don't have enough computers to service all of those areas effectively. The teachers want the computers more than what we're able to give them. So, but we're looking to apply for it next year also. The goal that we're trying to accomplish here is get teachers to move away from the traditional instructional methods that we've been using for years. And many of us who are teachers were taught in those ways, and we're continuing to teach in those ways. But we know that kids learn best by getting involved, by getting their hands involved, getting immersed and engaged in hands-on type of activity. So that's what we want to see happen. Kids getting involved with the technology, learning more independently with the teacher more as a facilitator, and try to monitor the lessons and give them direction. But the learning takes place better when kids are actually involved. So that's the biggest focus that we're trying to get the teachers to move towards. And the CFF it's a big task to take administratively. Ms. Kelly is still coordinating some of the funding and things with that. But overall, I think it is a very positive thing. I think that you'll see more and more of this type of technology integrated in classrooms. In the future, we're going to start moving into more online learning, so we may be able to utilize those computers in that capacity as well. We're currently going to pilot some parallel curriculum courses next year called we call it VLN, which is a virtual learning network. So some of our courses here will also be available online in some select areas. So we're going to try it next year and see how that goes. So technology is here. It's here to stay, and we need to try and keep up with it.
Technology is here.